Thank you so much, everyone, for making it here today. We'd like to extend a really warm welcome to everyone who made it, especially Tim Bulger's closest family members. So first, why don't we wait till everybody is announced, and we're going to give them a nice round of applause, okay? So Amy Bulger, Brooke Bulger. Amy is his wife, Brooke is his daughter, Kate is his second daughter. Virginia Bulger, also known as Ginny, is Tim's mother. Edward is his father. Kathy Bulger is Tim's sister, and Ted is his brother. Please give them a warm round of applause. What a great day, I mean, for the family and honoring Tim. Everybody here knew Tim, and I think it's very appropriate to honor the life that he led and think about him in a moment of silence here. So could you please join me in a moment of silence and think in positive thoughts about Tim? Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce Kayla Medeiros, who's going to sing the national anthem. Our flag is actually right over at the football stadium, the Anthony Sarno football stadium. So please remove your caps and pay attention as Kayla Medeiros sings our national anthem. I'm going to kind of sing into both, okay?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hey, nice job, Kayla. Outstanding. So just to get this started, my name's Ryan Donahue. I'm the athletic director here at Stoughton High School. I had the honor and privilege of working with Tim for 5.5 years. And, you know, it's just crazy how fast time goes when you're working and you're spending time with someone. There were days where I would spend, you know, be on the phone with Tim 5 times to 20 times a day based on the conditions and what we had in the afternoon. And those of you that don't know, and a big reason why this field's being dedicated to Tim is his dedication to the athletic program and to the youth programs here in Stoughton. He would work weekends, come in late at night, do whatever it took to get it done to make sure that our kids had not only a safe place to play, but a place that we could really be proud of. You know, he was just a master at his craft, and it was truly an honor working with him. We do have some other people here who are really close with Tim that would like to say a few words. So when I call them, please give them a nice round of applause. First person for the Recreation Department, please give a round of applause for John Denison. Kind of speak into this.
Welcome, everybody. I just, there's too many names to mention. I just want to welcome the Bulger family and his friends, many dignitaries from the town side and the school side, but other people want to speak, and I just kind of move on into this very difficult thing to say, but we miss Tim. But in another way, this is such a place that his spirit can remain, and it just seems to me to be so appropriate. Tim really represented a couple of things that I value, and I think we should all value. And therefore, I think we should all be very proud that his name goes up on this diamond. Family, certainly. His dedication to his community and his real commitment to doing the job the right way. And if we all lived with those values, boy, we'd have a great place. So certainly the Recreation Department in the town extends their congratulations for this honor to the Bulger family and to all of us here today. Let's remember Tim in the best of ways. Thank you.
John Denison, ladies and gentlemen, he's the rec director, also a teacher here at Stoughton High School for 35 years. You know, Tim affected a lot of people on a daily basis, whether he knew it or not. One group that really he had a nice relationship and formed a bond over time with was our coaching staff. Before we get to our coaching staff, I do want to thank Oliver Ames. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Look at them. Talk about sportsmanship. This group and their athletic director, Bill Matthews, and former teacher here who's a principal there, Wes Paul, they heard what we were trying to do here and flip-flop schedules like it was, you know, it wasn't a problem. And it really means a lot to us, especially with how heated our rivalry can be at times. So welcome, OA. Thank you so much for being here. The group of coaches, you know, we've had coaches that have coached quite some time. Today here we have Bob Ashley, Kevin McCormick, Janet Sullivan, Dan Mark, Coach Mike Armour, who's coaching the baseball team now. He had relationships with everybody, and everybody had the best of things to say about Tim. So who I'd really like to bring up next is Coach Dan Mark. He's a retired educator here at the middle school, knew Tim exceptionally well. So please give it up for Dan. Come on over, Dan. You want to speak into both, okay?
First of all, thank you everybody for showing up. This is an unbelievable turnout. I'm overwhelmed by this. Thank you so much. I have a different perspective than a lot of other people. I knew Tim when he was about this high. I was talking to Kathy the other day about it. Playing youth hockey, this scrawny little kid with these glasses are about 5 feet wide. And but the one thing he always had was a smile on his face. And I'll never forget that. All us coaches at Stoughton High, I'm speaking for all the present and past coaches, we really appreciate the job that Timmy did. And the best way to sum it up is that he went above and beyond what he was supposed to do. I remember his brother Teddy brought in all his heavy equipment one day. I look over there, he's got a backhoe and all this other stuff. What are you guys doing? And they were doing it for free. I mean, that's the kind of guys they were. There was a soccer tournament came here a couple years ago, and it was scheduled to play on Tuesday, and it was going to rain on Monday, so Tim came in on a Sunday night on his own, lined the field because they had to play in the field hockey field over there because the soccer field wasn't big enough or whatever, and he's out there in the rain lining it. I'm like, Timmy, what are you doing? I go, the game, it's probably going to get rained out. He says, I got to do it. I have to do it because what happens if it doesn't get rained out? And that's the way Timmy was. I'm honored that this field, where we play our JV softball games, is named after Tim. Also with field hockey, I'll be able to look out there every time we have field hockey practice a game and see Tim's name up there. And I'm absolutely honored to speak on behalf of the coaches, and I want to thank everybody again. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach. Now, this field dedication it's kind of a process to get it, you know, to make it an actual reality. And someone who was really instrumental, of course, Tim's close friends and families were really big advocates, and rightfully so. A nice close group of friends that he has. But also on the board of Selectmen, we had David Sousa was a big part of making this happen, and I think he made the motion to really to execute it. So he is here today. So he is from the board of Selectmen. Please welcome David Sousa.
Try both of them, huh? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. To my right is Vice Chairman Bobby Kahn and Selectman Peter Brown. I just like to say, people that know me know I don't speak for anybody, and no one speaks for me. But in this case, I like to change it around a little bit, and I like to talk to the Bulger family. As a community, we as a community and friends, thank you for letting us be part of this wonderful dedication for Tim. Not only was he a friend, he was a son, he was a brother, he was a husband, and most of all, he was a father. The Board of Selectmen last week, May 3rd, granted May 9, 2016, Tim Bulger Day. So I want to thank the board for doing that, and Selectman Peter Brown has a proclamation for the family. Thank you, everyone. Could use both, I guess. I'm old for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, David. Good afternoon. My name is Peter Brown. I was asked to read today's proclamation in honor of this day, and certainly my pleasure and definitely well-deserved. And I'll try to read it without it flying everywhere. But it's from the Town of Stoughton, and on May 9th, Timothy Bulger Day. It says, whereas Timothy Bulger was not only a lifelong resident of Stoughton, he was also an employee of the town, and more importantly, a loving husband to Amy, a devoted father to Brooke and Kate, and loyal neighbor to the whole community. And whereas Timothy Bulger's true pride and joy was his family, on many occasions he could be found riding bikes or playing ball with his girls. And whereas Timothy Bulger didn't just give back to the community, he took a tremendous amount of pride in it and in the way his fields look each and every day. And whereas Timothy Bulger spent 25 years working part-time for the Stoughton schools, primarily making sure the athletic fields were in top-notch shape, making them a place for the kids to be proud to call home field. And whereas Timothy Bulger took such pride in the community that he didn't think twice about dedicating countless hours to preparing the fields for the Stoyak, Stoughton Youth Baseball, Babe Ruth, American League Baseball Leagues, among other organizations. And whereas Timothy Bulger's work and commitment never went unnoticed. Many visiting town coaches and parents commented on the fields, and Tim welcomed everyone with a big smile and warm hello. Whereas Timothy Bulger, recognizing time today not only to commemorate the 25 years of community engagement, but will serve as a reminder to the youth of Stoughton of the essential core values Tim embodied: family, community pride, dedication, and commitment. Now, therefore, we, David J. Sousa, Robert M. Cohn, Joseph M. McCrisky, Robert J. O'Regan, and Peter J. Brown, all members of the Stoughton Board of Selectmen, with great pride and respect of the entire town of Stoughton, we officially proclaim May 9th, Timothy Bulger Day. This proclamation is made in Stoughton this 9th day of May, the year of our Lord, 2016. For the Board of Selectmen, David Sousa, Chairman. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the Bulger family.
Just want to let you know I was the driver that made sure these two brutes got here.
Thank you so much, guys. I would say probably give it right over to Ginny. Yep. As you can see, Tim made a lasting impression on many people, and his family has as well. You know, Tim's mother, Ginny Bulger, is one of the most kind-hearted people I have ever had the pleasure of working with. She has helped me out in infinite ways, and there is no one here that she has helped out more than the next guy that I'm going to call up to speak. So, former teacher, superintendent of school, principal of high school, please give Anthony Sarno, Jr., a nice warm round of applause. He's going to speak on behalf of Tim.
Thank you, Ryan. Good afternoon. I'd like to first begin by thanking the Bulger family and John Denison for asking me to say a few words today. I didn't know Tim when he was this high. I knew him when he was about this high, and he was only about probably 13 at the time. But I've known him since his early teenage years, and everything that has been said, I won't repeat it, but he certainly was kind and considerate and dedicated. He worked for me when I was principal. He worked on the grounds, and then when I became superintendent, he worked on the grounds. But I wasn't his immediate supervisor. A guy named Peter Looney, who was the athletic director, was his immediate supervisor. And I think it's so appropriate that you have the Tim Bulger Field directly across from the Peter Looney Athletic Complex. You could not separate those two. Peter loved him like a son. And the reason why is he had the same characteristics that Peter Looney had. He was a hard worker, he was dedicated, he was a perfectionist. Except for one time. He was with his partner in crime, Paul Fowler. Where are you, Paul? Yeah. Those were the days, Paul. I remember them, you know. my first game, home football game, as superintendent of schools, and I was so proud to be there. Jim Bouchel was the principal. He's here today. He was the principal at the time. Peter Looney was the athletic director. We were in the stands, and the award-winning Stoughton High School marching band was going to play the national anthem. So we stood up. We put our hands on our hearts. We turned and looked at the flagpole. There was no flag. I thought, I didn't know what to think. I wasn't too happy, I can tell you that. But I saw, what made me laugh was I saw Timmy and Paul running toward I still have my hand on my hat here, I'm palpitating here. Running toward the field house to grab the flag. And by the time the national anthem was played, the flag was flying high and everything was fine. Although we did talk about it a few times over the year. As was said earlier, it's nice to see so many people here. Tim Bulger was a pretty special guy, pretty special gentleman. And in closing, I'd like to say that if you had to list the characteristics that you would like in a husband, a father, a brother, a cousin, an uncle, and a friend, it would all come out as Tim Bulger. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Boy, isn't that the truth? How many fields he lined, how many times he did everything perfectly, and the one thing we're talking about is the time where the flag came up late. Okay, now one of Tim's, I'm going to introduce Tim's brother. He really close family member, obviously that goes without saying, and a heck of a guy, just like Tim, volunteering his time, and I'm not sure there's anybody in here that's missing him more than Ted. So, Ted, please come on up.
People here today. On behalf of my brother Tim, his wife Amy, Brooke and Kate, and our whole family, it's quite an honor. Quite an honor. I'm not going to go through my brother's accolades. Everybody else has done that. I want to thank a few people. First would be John Denison, Joel Harding, the Board of Selectmen. I need my cheat sheet because I'm forgetting some of them. Ryan Donahue, of course, Tony Carafa, Sheila Campbell, Mike Armour, Dan Mark, Tim Norton, Janet Sullivan, and Greg Burke, and of course the late Peter Looney for the hiring my brother way back when. Two guys that nobody has mentioned here that put a lot of time and effort into this today would be Paul Fowler and Mike Beatty, and I'd like to throw something out to them to say thank you, and thanks again. It means a lot to our family.
Okay, the moment that we've all been waiting for. So please, can I have, I think it's Ginny, Amy, and Tim's daughters, Kate and Brooke, are going to come down for the unveiling of the sign. And Kathy, yep, come on. Hey, all right. Boy, that's a nice sign. I know Tim would be mortified right now, but I'll tell you, it is totally deserved. Just as nice of a guy as any of us have ever known. So instead of a moment of silence, we're going to conclude today with a huge round of applause for Tim Bulger, one of the all-time greats to come through Stoughton High School. Actually, what we can do in the media center in the high school, we're going to have some refreshments. Everyone here is welcome to join us for those refreshments there. Thank you all so much for attending. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.